I'm on the ball today. I even felt exempted from the law today. It's like this revelation dawned on me. It's so amazing, help support the cause. I get everyone involved. I feel like I'm on the ball today. I even felt exempted from the law today. It's like this revelation dawned on me. It's so amazing, help support the cause. I get everyone involved.
Good morning. It is not a happy Monday. It is a happy Tuesday, but it is good to see you guys and start the week. Apologies for the rerun yesterday as OTB is scattered around the country. The head honcho, Steve, is in Aspen, who did join our meeting. I would like everyone to know on vacation, he joined our Monday morning meeting with me, Shay, and Mark. Mark spoke to CEA. Did I say that right, Shay? I think, right? CEA? Is that what's the group?
CEA.
CEA, the Construction
Executives Association.
Executive Association.
Yeah, so Mark spoke to their morning meeting on Monday, and the feedback was amazing. Very limited surprise. Mark also spoke on Saturday to RCC Associates. We were at Topgolf and spoke to their group. So Mark's been busy. He'll be back tomorrow. But Lori, good morning. Thank you for joining me. If it is your first show, my name is Jake Nudelberg. I'm the Director of Success at On the Ball. And Lori, who are you?
I am the president and CEO of Junior Achievement of South Florida and happy to be a co-host.
And one of our coaches, if you have not noticed, we have rebranded. And as always, sorry, Shay, for not introducing you. Shay Money, running the board and making everything happen and making the rebrand come to life. So if you could give him a quick round of applause for all the hard work that he consistently does for us, we're super appreciative. But in true fashion, we are getting 1% better consistently. And that includes the first full week of August, debuting our rebrand of the Huddle. We have new pictures. We're calling it our morning coach talk, or your morning coach talk, because we want you to engage with us. We want you to be active in the comments. We want you to invite people to the Huddle. We want this to be a community event every morning. So we hope you enjoy the new rebrand. The show will stay the same daily affirmation, same music, same actionable takeaways, but just a little spruce up to start August. Lori, how was your weekend?
It was great. I saw somebody in there, I think it was Becky, is on her way to Marco. So we spent the weekend.
I'm going to start calling you the Queen of Marco. I'm just going to tell you.
I love Marco.
I don't know if you can run for mayor. I don't know if that's in your cards. I don't know, but
no politics. Thank you. No, I go to Marco to relax, to take a deep breath and relax. It was a rainy weekend. We had some friends visiting with us. So we went over to Naples, shopped a little, had lunch till it started pouring. But it's just relaxing. Just a different feel over there.
And why? Is it because you get away from home? Is that why it's relaxing? Is the actual town relaxing? What about it is rejuvenating for you?
I think it's both. So first of all, our condo faces the beach. So you go down and you're on the beach. So just smelling the ocean and seeing that from the terrace. I think the island, it's quiet. It's crowded during season, but nothing compared to Fort Lauderdale. So it is definitely a slower pace. There's no big stores. There's nowhere to go shopping, right? And then I think the other part is there's no chores. There's no errands to do over there, right? We go there, we make a stop at Publix on the way in, and we're done, right? And then it's just relaxing and not worrying about, we throw a load of laundry in before we leave, and that's it. So here, when I'm home, right, I'm running, I got to get everything done. But then, of course, there is a weekend a month where I am running to get everything done.
Do you have a different group of friends that live there fully, or that you
I have no friends there. I don't want any friends there.
So it is true quiet time. No, I'm honestly, I think everybody rejuvenates in different ways. I think everybody, I will tell you I'm 26. And for those of you who don't know the video game world, which is still massive, apparently, NCAA football, the college football game, stopped its production in 2014 was its last time. That was 10 years ago. I was 16. I was in the height of my video game days. I hadn't played video games in almost 4 years, call it 3-4 years. And the new game came out for the first time in, like I said, 10 years. They were projecting to make, I think it was like a 250 million was their projection, and they're already at 500 million in sales. They are paying players now for their names. They sent $600 to every player, and in true fashion, I dove back in, and I appeased my 15-year-old self, and I bought a new Xbox, and I gamed as hard as I've ever gamed on Sunday. And I got to tell you, it was some of the most fun I've had. I don't think it matters. Like, and even Mark was like, I'm jealous, you know? So I don't think it's like an age thing when it comes to video games. And and I just, cause we grew up
yelling at the little kids on online.
well, it's like I'm so scared to play online, and like someone's gonna send me a message, and I remember being the little kid. You know, like I remember being the 14-year-old being like, "You suck," and the guy's like, "Get a job," and I'm like, wow. You know, or something like that. But it's really funny. Like I remember, and me and Mark obviously went on to work in coaching, but I remember Mark like coming home from working in college football, and we would sit on the futon in my room and play PlayStation and build like players, build teams. And there was this one, and this is a true story on Mark of how everything he does is process driven. I go to visit him one summer in Tallahassee. I was probably 14 at the time. He was off of work. They were on vacation for the summer, and we sit down to play this video game, and we're building our team. We're working for Florida State. And in the game, it gives ratings to players that you can recruit to your team. And it's a video game. Like the higher you're rated, the better those players are. It's a pretty simple process, right? And this guy goes, "Nah, we can't take him. You know, we can't take that guy. He's too small." And I was like, "What do you mean he's too small?" And he's like, "Yeah, he can't play. He's got to be this height. He's got to be this weight." And we like wouldn't take the player that was like highly rated because he was like, "Nope, it's against my philosophy. We're not taking it." I was like, "Dude, you are one of a kind." So that was the way I rejuvenated. Let's get to some wake up music, and then I want to talk some Olympics. I'm absolutely obsessed with it.
I know.
A lot of great people joining us on LinkedIn. As always, thank you for joining us every morning. But yes, Lori, I am super obsessed with the Olympics. And if you're following the Americans are in first place for gold medals, I believe. I believe they took
It was tied at 19.
It was 19. I think we're at 21 now. I could be wrong, but I think yesterday.
It's tied 21-21.
21-21 now?
Yeah.
Okay. So
I remember the other night, and you said, "Oh, the USA is ahead in medals, right?" Because I thought we're way ahead in medals, and I was like, "Yeah, but we're not ahead in gold." Like
look, it is. Look, I will tell you. I don't know, because when you see a Chinese player or a player from no, not Asian, Chinese.
No, Oh, okay. You're talking country.
Sure, I'm talking actual Chinese. They're Chinese. Which if you're Asian, I think you like to be specified by your country. They look like distraught when they don't win gold. Whereas the American athletes, when they win silver, unless it's like a big collapse, are still cheering. But it does seem that there is a little bit of a letdown for the Chinese. But anyway, Noah Lyles, who has probably talked the most trash of any athlete, Olympic athlete that we've seen in a very long time. Noah Lyles is a 200-meter runner who decided to go up to the 100-meter. And if you know anything about sprinting, the 100 meters is probably the hardest race that you can run in track. It is over in 10 seconds. You have to start, and you better be perfect the entire way in order to win gold. And normally it comes down to 0.5 seconds. So Shay, can you play the last race?
The Jamaicans got away well, in particular, Kashane Thompson. But Noah Lyles, and that finish that he always depends on, did not desert him tonight. He came and got the Jamaican, as well as Fred Curley, and then had a better lean, and by 5 thousandths of a second.
5 thousandths of a second.
Not hundreds.
Difference between
as it usually is.
Thousands. is the difference between being the fastest man in the world and signing millions of dollars of endorsement deals and the difference of being that Jamaican guy and being probably forgotten. Never talked about again. The other American who finished third by also a hair length, never talked about again. The guy who finished fourth will be in every one of those videos finishing that close, right? And they train, and the way that they run, there's nobody looking at anybody else, right? They are so in tune with what they are supposed to do. And I think it's amazing because he was losing. Like, it looked like he was going to lose, and the announcer absolutely messed up at the end and said Jamaica wins gold. I mean, if you were watching the race live, he goes, Jamaica has won. And he even admitted that I messed up. It was that close. It goes to the photo finish. They stood next to each other. They watched it. And I just think but now, like, those other guys didn't fail, right? Like, you can't look at, oh, I failed. Like a point, personally, of a 5 thousandths of a second, they can't go home and say I failed, right? Like, they trained and they were there. And if the wind blows a second different, like, I don't know, what's your take on it? Because it's hard for me to look at an Olympian who finished silver and be like, you failed by that margin.
Yeah, I would hate to hear that they feel that way, right? That would be, I mean, they train so hard. Listen, I mean, you go to the Olympics and I guess everybody's different. Did they go with the idea of, I'm going just to win a gold? Or am I going to compete? Am I going to get on that platform? Whichever of the three, right? I medal. So I think it's all, everybody goes with a different goal in mind. I think if you medal in the Olympics, you should be.
I thought it was interesting because, look, there's obviously going to be disappointment. Simone Biles, and I don't know the other girl's name, so I apologize about that. That's just part of it. Whoever finished bronze in the
something Sue. I can't think.
No, it was a different one for the individual. They finished. So Simone Biles fell, and so did Suni. Fell on the beam and didn't medal. And then they went to individual, and Simone, and then I don't remember the name of the third American or the name of the Brazilian, but this is them on the podium. But can you play? Thank you, Jordan Childs. Thank you. This is them on the podium with Brazilian winning gold and then silver and bronze. And like, there's so much genuine happiness, like for what they just accomplished. And I think that this is what it's about, like it's such a world event to be on that podium, to be one of the top 3 best ever. And I think it's interesting because I think Simone looks at it a lot differently now. And obviously she's won gold a million different times.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's easy to be that happy about it when you've won how many goals, right?
Sure. So I don't know about that though, because I don't think losing is ever fun. No. And I think it's how you attack everything. And it's knowing that
losing, I guess we could look at it either way, to Mark's point, right? Here we go with the failure conversation. Is it losing when you're up on that platform as one of the 3, right? Medalists?
Is it losing that you did the best? Like if you stood up there, if you stood up there and you trained as hard as humanly possible and you ran the best race that you thought you could, it's hard to have regret. And I think that's where I'm getting to is like these players can't live with regret the rest of their life, and you can't live with, it's a long race in life too, that you can't really, whatever. There's both sides to look at the coin. We can, it's failure.
If Mark were here, we'd be having this whole conversation about.
You had to have a different outlet, but it was amazing to watch. There is this funny video that I want to show everybody to get a laugh, and then we're gonna get to motivational music. But every job has its ups and downs, and if you're the cameraman for the gymnastics, this is what you're doing all day.
It literally has its ups and downs.
Literally, it is hilarious that guy will stand there all day for the people who are doing the poles and jumping up and down. But let's get some motivational music, and then we have some great content to actually dive into.
Straight up now, tell me, do you really want to love me forever? Or am I caught in a hit and run? Straight up now, tell me, is it gonna be you and me together?
Love that. Love
Good
a
morning
blast
to
on
Zach
that.
Corliss, my good buddy. Glad that you are here. Yeah, Paulo Duel. I don't know. Felt like a good Tuesday, straight up. We did not do our affirmation. Our affirmation was related to the Olympics. Go figure. And I pulled Simone Biles' quote. Lori, could you do the honors, please?
Sure. I think we used to think of therapy as a weakness, and now I think of it as a strength. And if there's somebody that can help me deal with what I'm going through, then that's what I need to do. Absolutely.
Look, and I don't necessarily mean that everybody needs to go to therapy, but I do think everybody needs an outlet. They need a coach. They need somewhere where they can dump the things that they're talking about. And I know my dad talks about this a lot. Like, it can't be your wife. It can't always be your kids. It can't always be the ones that are closest to you. You need to have a different perspective. Someone that can help you reshape. And I love Mark's quote because I get on him. He goes, if I'm going to do anything, I want to do it at the best of my ability. Like if I'm gonna play golf, I want to get lessons and I want to get a coach. And so I think that that's just really what therapy is a life coach a little bit, you know?
And I want to take a minute, to Mark's point. I think that Mark is willing. He's an example of someone who is willing to invest personally.
Oh, don't stroke ego. Don't stroke.
No. I'm saying to make a point that I think so often, right? We want somebody else to pay for helping us to get 1% better, right? We need to be willing, and I think Mark's point, we need to be willing to invest in ourselves to get better. And that typically is always done, I think, in a stronger, better way when we have a coach. Look, I'll use you and I as a perfect example. And I've already said, I'm investing a lot of money in me. Not in you, in me. But I know that without you coaching me to get me where I want to get to, I probably would not be where I am. I might be further along, but I might not be where I am right now. And I've already said, I don't care if I have to give up something else. I will continue to invest financially in my well-being. So just have to bring that up.
I think most people are scared of accountability and expectation. And those are the two things that having a coach does is it takes away any, I didn't, I wasn't accountable to it. I don't really show up, or I don't have that expectation to do well. I didn't know. So that's why I don't spend on golf lessons. Because I know if I'm going to spend money on it, I need to be accountable to playing well and have an expectation to start playing better. Like that, I'm not going to, if you're going to invest in something, there has to be an outcome. Right. And if you're not, then there's something wrong with it. Right. There has to be some give and take on the transaction scale. And so I think people are scared of that. And that's why they want someone else to pay for it, because they're like, well, they got it for me and it didn't work for me. Right. It doesn't, because that's not real expectation. That's not skin in the game is what we call it.
Exactly.
That's not real. I'm paying for this. I need to be accountable to it. And that's one reason that I love working with you guys in fitness, is because it is hard to go to the gym, right? And excuses, right? Mark puts it, it doesn't allow you to have excuses. It takes away any, ambiguity of what you're supposed to be doing, when you're supposed to be doing it. And I think that scares people, because people like
it's not only just about the accountability piece, but it's also about the objectivity piece, right? That other perspective, that you are so into the mix of something, right, that you're not seeing it from the outside, right? So you're bringing a different expertise, a different perspective. So I think it's also about that, not just accountability.
It's a good
anyway, I didn't mean to go off on that, but
it's a great muscle to also admit that you don't know everything, right? I think it's a muscle a lot of us struggle with. I think we learn. We're in school, we take our life experiences and we assume that what we went through is enough a lot of times, or you paid for an education and you assume just because you did that makes you smarter or more prepared than somebody else. And it is putting your ego in check of saying, maybe I don't know everything. Even though I've gotten to this place, maybe I don't know everything and somebody else knows maybe a little bit more than me. And I'll tell you, that was the hardest thing coming out of football for me, is continuously saying like, oh, I don't know anything, or really not knowing anything about the business world. And that scared me. Like that hurt my ego for something that I had worked so hard on in football and was pretty smart in that. I'd gotten pretty smart, not all the way, but then to come out and be like, oh, I really am the dumbest person in the room now, and like, I have to listen and I have to shut my mouth where I'm not accustomed to that. is a muscle that you have to grow, I think, and be okay. Be okay just being the quiet one and listening and asking questions. And I was on a trip with two of my buddies, and I would say, but like both of them are way smarter than me. Just book smart. Like I would say there's some life smarts that I would take on my end, and certain things that I do better. But they're having conversations and saying some words that I had never even heard before. Legitimately went, I don't know what that means. What does that mean? Like, I don't care anymore about looking stupid in front of them, or because it's the only way that I'm going to get better. And if you have with people who are smarter than you and you surround yourself with people who are better than you, normally you're going to get better, right? Or you're going to get washed away and realize you just can't handle it. But I'm not one of those people, and nor should you ever think that you're one of those people, So we were going to get into kind of like sharpen this 5 life areas. We're not going to have enough time, but the first is sharpen your relationships, right? And it says that you are the sum of the 5 people you hang out with. And I really did like this one. Resist false kindness. And we're not going to do this whole thing because I want to save this for my next show because I do really like this chart. But it says resist false kindness. Create an inner circle that will give you honest feedback. I think that's hard, but being a friend and balancing, both sides of that. And I know you do it with Dad a lot because you guys are friends and business coaches, which same with us. I think, where I say sometimes I go, do you want me to be your friend or do you want me to be your coach?
Right.
Like which angle?
I think no matter what the relationship is, if we're not going to be authentic with each other, listen, if somebody isn't a close friend like that, or in a work relationship where you have that complete honesty and authenticity to really be upfront with them and straight with them. Listen, nobody likes being told what they don't want to hear, right? Nobody wants to hear something negative, but take it, process it, think about it, right? Own it or don't own it. I always say if the shoe fits, wear it. If it doesn't, throw it out. Right?
You better make sure that the trust bridge is built before you have those conversations with friends, that's not a conversation you have with a friend you met last week. You know what I mean? It's you have to go through building that relationship. It's the same thing in leadership with your people. Like you better make sure that you care about them personally and they know that. And there is a relationship there before you try to change everything about their lives or give them feedback on everything, because they are going to crumble and look at you and go, you're an asshole, you are like it. And you don't want to come off.
Earn that right.
Right.
You need to earn the right to be able to have those honest conversations. And usually that comes from, right, building a relationship, whether it's a friendship, a work relationship, whatever it might be. Yep. You earn that trust and respect. And then you get to still
when
they need a kick in the ass.
And then you better make sure that you're reinforcing that relationship consistently, because it is a bridge and bridges break down. So you better be building it back up. Yes, Jonathan Aarons, this is our new OTB swag. We updated our swag for the end of the year. We have 2 hoodies now. We have 2 quarter zips. It felt like football season when we get new gear.
I need a quarter zip. Hello.
Listen, I do not run any of the gear. That would be Shea Money. Decides that. He is the gatekeeper for all of it. And there is a large price for each piece of
$1 million.
$1 million, whatever he sets it. Thank you guys. A terrific Tuesday. Take what we said and use it in your daily life. Lori, thank you for joining me. And Mark will be back tomorrow with you. Back-to-back days. And then I think Dad, our head honcho, Steve, is back on Thursday off vacation. He'll be rested with some great stories. But if you like our content, sign up for our newsletter. Join our community if you're looking for coaching. Eat, Drink, Think, September 24th. Get on the waiting list. Going to be an amazing event. And then most importantly, let's get down to business.
Yeah.
Please don't worry about me. I'm about to let my heart speak. My friends keep telling me to leave this. So let's get down to business.